What's up, outsiders? And today is going to be a Sam Kieth appreciation video where we're kind of going to look through some of Sam Kieth's work and books he worked on and just appreciate the art style of Sam Kieth. And I'll talk about why he's my favorite and how I found out about him and everything. Yeah, Sam Kieth, he's really not like he's a very introverted artist, I guess you would say, as most artists are. But like, it's very rare that you'll see a video interview with him. It's very rare he'll do just interviews in general. Like, I found like a couple like short video interviews he did with somebody on YouTube, but like most of his interviews are like written interviews where you look online and you'll find like an article of an interview he did. But yeah, and yeah, so Sam Kieth's a private dude, but he's a great artist, so we'll get right into this. So the first one I kind of want to share, because this is probably like the earliest work of Sam Kieth that I have. He did do work before he did Marvel stuff, like the Marvel Comics Presents. Yeah, so let's get into this. So how I found out about Sam Kieth, and because so when I was younger, I would see this image of Wolverine a lot, and I really liked it because it was so unique. This is what it was on it was the cover of one of Marvel Comics Presents, and came out like late 80s, early 90s, and I wasn't alive during the time. I was born in 99, but even me growing up, you would still see images of this specific Wolverine cover, and I just thought it was so cool. And when you're younger, when I was younger, you don't really understand how comics are made or the process of how they're made. Like, you don't understand there's a writer, an artist, letter, and all that stuff. You just think like these companies, Marvel and DC, oh, the superhero companies just put out this stuff. But once I got older and started to understand the concept of, oh, there's specific artists, these comics have different artists that do these comics. Like, for example, when you find out about like Hellboy, and you find out Mike Mignola drew it and was the artist and wrote it and all that stuff, like, then I started understand how comics are made more. And then, so long story short, when I came across the cartoonist kayfabe video that they did on this Marvel Comics Presents run that Sam Kieth did, like the thumbnail, I was like, that's that Wolverine. Like, because I didn't know who Sam Kieth was, also because he was a private dude. So the thumbnail caught my eye, so I clicked it, and it said Sam Kieth. So Ed and Jim starts talking about Sam Kieth, and that's when I figured out Sam Kieth is the dude that had that awesome Wolverine art that I loved as a kid, and I just didn't know who the hell Sam Kieth was. So thankful I came across that video, because when I did, I started looking up Sam Kieth. Like, most of the stuff he did, the Max, his stuff, he did a Spider-Man, like a 2-part Spider-Man comic in like 2003 that I have and we'll look at. But yeah, so I just instantly started looking into Sam Kieth, trying to find everything he did. And it's kind of messed up because as you know, in my backgrounds, I have these comics, and it's crazy because on YouTube I started looking up, trying to find people doing reviews of his stuff. And so on eBay I found a lot of these Marvel Comics Presents stuff with Sam Kieth covers, and it was a big disappointment because Sam Keith doesn't do the interiors for most of these covers he did, so it was just a big disappointment when you open the book and the interiors are done by someone else other than Sam Keith. But yeah, so that's how I found out exactly who Sam Keith was when I was younger, seeing that awesome Wolverine cover he did. But yeah, like just getting into Sam Keith's art, like off the top, when you open this and you look through it, to me, just like his Wolverine stuff, my opinion, the two best artists to do Wolverine, in my opinion, was Sam Keith and Barry Windsor Smith. And my bias leans more towards Sam Keith because I'm a fan of Sam Keith. But yeah, in my opinion, Barry Windsor Smith and Sam Keith did phenomenal work on Wolverine. Just, they made Wolverine their own. I know a lot of people do love Jim Lee's Wolverine and Mark Silvestri's Wolverine. Everyone has their opinion. My opinion is the two best dudes to ever do Wolverine was probably Barry Windsor Smith and Sam Keith. Man, just Sam Keith's art, well, back in the day when he first started, it, like, you could find articles of interviews he did about him talking about how he would render a lot, and he would talk about meticulously drawing every hair on Wolverine's body. And he did awesome like shadow jobs, or not shadow jobs, but like in his drawings he did like awesome shadow work because he understood lighting, just like that. And like his stuff, I mean, it's not like, I guess, anatomically correct, but I don't really look for that for like comic artists I like, because it's good to know that stuff. But you could be the most anatomically correct comic artist and your stuff won't stand out. Like Sam Keith's stuff stands out because he exaggerates everything. And as we get further in his career, he like cartoony style and everything, he exaggerates a lot. And so yeah, but he did understand like lighting and shadowing and everything, because I do see, like, I could see if he has like a Frazetta influence. I'm not sure. He probably is, but I know for a fact Bernie Wrightson was an influence on him, because I've read interviews where he like one of his intros for, I have the Sam Keith Artist Edition, and like the intro Sam Keith did for that, he talks about Bernie Wrightson being like an influence on him. But where I do, and off the top, like, this is kind of an intro into Sam Keith's wacky panel page layouts. Like, I wish I had my Max comic, because that's like a perfect example of Sam Keith's like page layout and everything. But like you can see on this one is like because there's a writer and an editor, so I don't think he could have went all in for like how he did his panel layouts. But like, you could see like little trailers of what is to come with Sam Keith's, like if he takes over like writing a book and everything, like he's gonna have the pages how he wants, and he's gonna have strange panel layouts and page layouts. Yeah, just this Blood Hungry story, it's basically like Wolverine and Cyber fighting, or like the story is like Cyber and Wolverine knew each other from the past, and some stuff happens. Wolverine gets like drugged and hallucinate. Like Cyber whoops his ass. Like Wolverine doesn't do nothing in the beginning, really. Yeah, just awesome Sam Keith art. And like, I can't really explain it, like everyone has their favorite artist, but like I appreciate a lot of artists too. Like I appreciate Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Frank Miller, Barry Windsor Smith, Jim Starlin, Sal and John Buscema. Like I appreciate a lot of those guys' art, like, and I enjoy their art. Like those guys I named would probably be in, like, if I had to make a list, it would be in my list of favorite comic artists. But Sam Keith is just like his art. Like when I look at it, I'm speechless, and it like speaks to my soul in a way. And I guess like for everyone that has their favorite comic artist, I guess everyone that has their favorite comic artist, when they look at their art, it speaks to them. It speaks to them, like they just love it, and that's how I feel with Sam Keith. But yeah, Sam Keith always did an awesome job with tearing up Wolverine's suit and everything. And where I say like I think he does have like a Frazetta influence is how he draws women. Like especially in the 90s, like the 90s comics, like they would draw women like, I don't know, like really really small waists would be the thing in like 90s comics. But how Sam Keith draws women, almost, I have a Frank Frazetta like sketchbook thing of how he draws women, and it's very similar to how Sam Keith draws women. So I do think Frazetta was an influence to Sam Keith. But yeah, Sam Keith draws awesome women. Like I said, I wish I did have the Max, because he draws a woman is kind of like the main character of the Max, to put it simply, so I don't ramble on about stuff. But yeah, so to me, Sam Keith is like a master. Like just like no one in the when Sam Keith is doing this stories for Marvel Comics Presents, no one's like drawing all these hairs, like Sam Keith did all these by hand, like all the hairs on Wolverine, the tattered uniform, the lighting, the shadowing, like all that stuff. Like Sam Keith is doing all this by hand. He does lighten up, like Sam Keith's always been like loose and cartoony, but he rendered the heck out of his like earlier stuff. And as we'll come to see, like in some of the Batman stuff he did, he did become more loose and lean more on the cartoony stuff. But that's Sam Keith either way. If he wants to render the heck out of stuff, draw heavy hair on Wolverine's body, or whatever he wants to do, or be cartoony as heck, not really a lot of rendering, like either Sam Keith, like you know it's Sam Keith, but you could just tell it's evolution of his art style. I just really like this right here, like who's drawing that? I mean, I don't, it's exaggerated to hell. I don't think anyone would say it's like anatomically correct, but who gives a shit? Like, it's, you look at it, it catches your eye, and you just you forget about the words, and you just stare at this. Like I stared at this for probably like 5 to 10 minutes, trying to examine it. Like, yeah, like Sam Keith's art just speaks to me. Like it's different. It's not house style. It's not. It's unique in a very good way, and those are the kind of artists I gravitate to and like. Artists that do their own thing, that have their own style and everything. Yeah, so just yeah. Sam Kieth Appreciation. Sam Kieth is, I mean, I don't I don't think like a lot of people would have Sam Kieth as like a top artist or whatever. Like if a mainstream comic company was putting together their like, oh, top 10 list of the best artists, this and that. Like, I don't know if people would put Sam Kieth on the list, but I don't care. Like, Sam Kieth is my favorite, and I think in my opinion, he's one of the best artists to ever live, in my opinion, just to put it simply. And this opinion, everyone has a right to opinion, but like, I think I'm not like a artist or anything. Like, I try to practice drawing and stuff, but I think anybody that does do art, like especially comic art, would appreciate Sam Kieth. Because like, there's no way you could look at Sam Kieth stuff and tell me, I mean, I guess, like I said, people have opinions. Sam Kieth might not be for some people, but I mean, you can't not look at this stuff and not tell me it doesn't catch your eye, and you don't just sit there, look at it, and appreciate the work. This Sam Kieth puts his heart and soul on the paper. Like, you can't say you don't appreciate an artist that puts their heart and soul on the paper. But yeah, this is his Blood Hungry story. It's like this stuff, like a lot of like certain things, like is what Sam Kieth turns into later. Like this old man, like a cartoony. It's like shapes, like cartoony shapes, exaggerated features, almost like caricature. And like caricature art is cool, like almost like Mad Magazine type stuff. Jack Davis, like some of his work Jack Davis did on Plastic Man and stuff, and Mad. It's like caricature in a way. Like that Wolverine right there, Wolverine's face, like that's just cartoony, like awesome stuff. And then you have a cartoony face like that, and then you just have this landscape of a cliff, really detailed with perfect lighting and shadowing and everything. But yes, Sam Kieth is the man we're appreciating today. And I wish Sam Kieth did do more interviews, and I wish a lot more people knew about Sam Kieth.